Cincinnati, welcome home. The Bearcats come back from a possibly trend-switching win over Colorado last time out and host the Arizona State Sun Devils here at Fifth Third Arena. Alongside Colin Kunz, I'm Ethan Herzog. And Colin, it's been up and down for these Bearcats all season long. I mean, you start out so hot, you go into the non-conference, you're 10-1, you have wins over Xavier, you have wins over Dayton, you had a loss to Villanova, which was your only loss in the non-conference. What has it been for Cincinnati coming into today that has led them to this point being 1-4 in conference play?
I mean, Cincinnati, it really looked good at the beginning of the season. We saw a lot of success playing those out-of-conference teams, but really when you step back and look at it, those out-of-conference teams weren't quite as good as this really strong Big 12. The Bearcats have struggled in multiple different places, mainly on offense. Their defense has stepped up and looked pretty strong in multiple games, but really the lack of a leading scorer has been what has led to the Bearcats' struggles in Big 12 conference play.
And you look at these Bearcats, they're one of the top defensive scoring teams in the country, atop of the Big 12 as well, and you said it, it's that lack of a top scorer on this team. You looked at Dylan Mitchell, but since then, Seamoss has kind of fallen off. There hasn't been much three-point shooting to go around, especially for Seamoss. It's been a struggle, especially from distance. Chisel James hasn't looked the same. Lede Thomas has not looked the same since his injury last season. So you find that way to score, and you're going to dominate in this Big 12. You're holding teams to under 55 points consistently every single game. It's the other end. You can't score.
Yeah, and that offense, I mean, you really covered it all there. It's just, if the Bearcats can find a leading scorer, if they can put it together, they really will find that success, like you mentioned. And you talked about some of the struggles we got into this conference slate. They just kind of fell off, and that's really when the Bearcats started struggling.
Cincinnati 11-5 on the season, 1-4 in conference play so far. Arizona State, they're right behind them, 10-6 in the total in this season, and 1-4 in conference play. And you look at these two teams, they are pretty much the exact same on paper. Offensively, Cincinnati scores 72.8 points per game, Arizona State 75.7. Defensively, Cincinnati stands out 60.6 points per game allowed this season, which they are 7th in the nation in defensive scoring. Arizona State 72.7. And you look at these Arizona State Sun Devils this day before the start of the new year, and that's a massive blow for Arizona State. Has a particular freshman by the name of Jaden Quaintance, who is the only player in the nation averaging at least 9 points, 8 rebounds, and 3 blocks per game. And on the other end, you look defensively, the one thing they've struggled on defensively for Cincinnati is blocks. And that, you have to look at Aziz Bandego, Aronson Page, and Dylan Mitchell, Aziz has gotten back into sort of that rhythm, but what's it going to take for Cincinnati defensively to maybe smack a couple of those balls away from the board?
I mean, Cincinnati is just really going to have to be quick and effective getting to the ball. They have to get there as soon as possible. I mean, they have to immediately crash the ball, just throw their hands up, and you got to look to those guys like Bandango, and you really need him to step up and start leading that charge and getting those blocks, and you'll see it start to come from the rest of your centers for the Bearcats.
Cincinnati led by fourth-year head coach Wes Miller in his 14th year overall. The other side needs no introduction. It's Bobby Hurley. He's led these Arizona State Sun Devils 165 wins, 137 losses in his 10th season at the helm for the Arizona State Sun Devils. But I mean, what is there not to talk about such a legendary coach and player in Bobby Hurley?
Yeah, I mean, Bobby Hurley, that's just a name for such a long time, and has led them to a fairly decent season this year.
Named to the 1992 NCAA Final Four Most Outstanding Player, as he was named head coach back in 2015. Now, we are on CBS today as of TV, and we are a little behind schedule. We were supposed to tip off at about 2:02, but the game before us, Houston and UCF, we're down to the final minute of this game. UCF down by 1 to number 10 Houston, 66-67. And I mean, what a shakeup that would be. Houston, they've been in this weird funk this season where they've lost a handful of games to top opponents. They've lost a couple of them to not you would consider not so top opponents. But this Big 12 this season is so strange, and you can point to the transfer portal for that.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the transfer portal has been something that has just completely shaken up college overall. And I think even going along with that NIL as well, where college has almost become sort of just more like a professional league where you're giving these guys contracts, but it really shakes up these teams really drastically. And you can have teams that show a ton of change from one year to the next. And I think that really is what makes things so confusing in the Big 12, because every team that you face off against this year, they could be a completely different team against what you faced off last year.
We will keep an eye on the UCF-Houston matchup that is currently going on down in Orlando. That game obviously before this one, timing-wise, and we are about to have the Cincinnati starting lineups announced. Speaking of, we will give you those before it is announced here in Fifth Third Arena in just a second once my computer decides to load. But it has been the same starting lineup for Cincinnati. It has been all season. You have Dan Skillings, Jizzle James, rounding out the guard spots. Dylan Mitchell, Simas Lukosius running the forward. And at the 5 is Aziz Bandego. And on the other side for the visitors, running the 3 guards is number 1, Alston Mason, number 10, BJ Freeman, and number 44, Adam Miller. And running the forwards is number 8, Bashir Jihad, and number 21, Jaden Quaintance. It's going to be a big, hard-hitting defensive matchup for these two teams. And you look at these starting 5s, you have only one player that averages in single digits, and that's Aziz Bandego. He's got 8.4. On the other side, it's Adam Miller and Jaden Quaintance, both with 9.5 and 9.8 points respectively.
Yeah, and I think looking on the Cincinnati side, like you mentioned, Bandego the only one not in double digits scoring. But that's really where you look at the Bearcats, and it's this team as a whole. There is really not one player that stands out above the rest and is really better than any of the others. I mean, it's kind of just all they're all on the same level. And you know, some people might say that works to your benefit, but I think the Bearcats are just really in need of a leader. And we've seen Dan Skillings do it just a little bit, but even he needs to maybe come up to just a little bit of a higher level, or somebody just really needs to step up to lead this team.
Dan Skillings has been a force all season long. Showed out in his first game of the season against Arkansas Pine Bluff, the triple-digit win for the Bearcats earlier this season, but was injured coming off of that game and took a little bit of time to get back into the rhythm of things, but since then has contributed a great number. He scored in double digits at least 7 times. Coming off of that one, scored 10 points against Xavier, 15 against Dayton. Scored and had 3 games in a row, scoring 18 points against Kansas State, Arizona, and Baylor coming into today. But it's going to come. But if you're pointing at a leader or someone to be that leader, would you say Dan Skillings or would you say somebody else?
The most out of anybody. I think that if anybody has
We are just about underway here from Fifth Third Arena. Colin Kuntz, Ethan Herzog here with you. Welcome to Bearcat Sports Radio. Welcome to Big 12 men's basketball in 2025. I believe this is my first game calling the Big 12 this season, so happy to be here with you guys. This is game 1 for me on the doubleheader day. I have to head down and call the women's game against Colorado on 100.7, 106.3 FM later today. I'm not going to have a voice after today. Safe to say.
That is certainly a lot of basketball.
But hey, no such thing as as too much basketball. To the center circle we go. Cincinnati, the all whites with black trim. Arizona State, the all blacks with the red and the yellow ombre trim. Cincinnati sporting the brand new all white alternate uniforms, using that Jordan money. In the center circle, standing at 7 foot flat, the 5th gear forward, Aziz Bandego. And across from him, at number 21, the 6'9" freshman forward from Cleveland, Ohio, Jaden Quaintance. It's the Bearcats and the Sun Devils here on Bearcat Sports Radio. Glad you could have us here, friends. Buckle up. It's about to get bumpy. Potential final score update here. 3 seconds to go, second half. UCF 68, Houston 67. I believe that is all we are waiting on here to tip this ball off. Official holds on to the rock at center court. Marquise Pettigrew, Brooks Wells, and Tyler Kumpf, your officials for tonight's contest. And here we go. Up, swatted away, and picked up by Dylan Mitchell. And the Bearcats have a chance to knock one down first here from Fifth Third Arena. Jizzle James, towards the center court stripe, hands it off to Dan Skillings. Now fires it off around the world over to the right wing. Dylan Mitchell looking for an option, fakes the pass inside, now off top of the circle, 10 seconds on the shot clock to go. James with it, trying to get off the screen of Aziz Bandego. Ball got dribbled out of bounds, it'll stay with Cincinnati, but 6 seconds remain on the shot clock. Gotta have to hurry up here.
Yeah, Bearcats definitely need to look to find something really quick. They've been held outside of the arc, they need to work super quick here.
Dan Skillings, Jizzle James, hands it off to Seamoss, 2 seconds, one, on the way, off the rim. Reset the shot clock, but rebounded by Arizona State. Here's Freeman down the floor, heading it off to Alston Mason. Hails from Belgium, as Arizona State gets their first crack at the offensive possession. Quaintance, top of the circle, bounce pass inside, just outside the paint, now takes a step in, puts it off the glass, and no good. Rebounded by Cincinnati. Jihad, 0 of 1. From inside the paint tonight. Jizzle James across the center court line. To the wing. Gets it off to Seamoss Lukosius. Dumps it. 3 ball on the way. Jizzle James no good. Rebounded by Quaintance. Here comes Arizona State. Down the near side of the floor. Moving from left to right in your radio dial. Here's a drive. Looks for the kick out. Fed it underneath instead. Way around Aziz Bandego and smacked away by Dan Skillings for the rebound. Scoreless here after the first 2 minutes.
It looks like Skillings there actually tripped, which gave Arizona State the shot. They just missed it a little bit to the left.
This is a good recovery by Dan Skillings, but here comes the steal from Arizona State. Coast to coast they go, up, no good. Wide on it, but offensive board for the Sun Devils. Here's a 3 ball off the back iron. Dan Skillings can't quite stretch long enough to get the rebound. There's a block by Aziz Bandego and Dylan Mitchell. Defense down low, gives it back to Cincinnati. Into the corner, catch and shoot 3. Dan Skillings, no. Dylan Mitchell missed the offensive board right in front of him, and Mason takes it down the floor for Arizona State. Stops left wing, trying to assess the offensive situation. Back open 3, on the way, it's no good. Trying to fight for the rebound, Seamoss Lukosius scoops it up. Jihad was there, but couldn't quite get it. Here's Seamoss. Reverses his momentum back to set things back up on offense here. 17:43 to go first half. 19 seconds on the shot clock. Seamoss, top of the circle, moves inside, feeds it to Dylan Mitchell around, no good. Still scoreless as the ball is rebounded by Arizona State. Here's Alston Mason with it. Top of the circle, takes a couple steps to his left. Jizzle James comes up the guard. 20 seconds on the timer. Calls a play, there's a cutter along the back, on the back door. Trying to find a way in, can't find it. Jihad for 3, no good. Rebounded by Aziz Bandego.
And man, 3 minutes into this game now, and we have just not really seen any offensive success at all. We've seen both teams get maybe 3 possessions each now and still scoreless on the board.
There's a corner 3 from Dan Skillings, and it's just edges off the rim. And there's a bad attempt at a rebound, takes it all the way. Euro step blocked by Aziz, but it's a foul called on Dylan Mitchell in the end.
And my goodness, I mean, still with a continuance of the lack of scoring here, neither team have really been able to find the bottom of the net at all. We've seen multiple attempts come, but just neither having any success.
Goes down as a shooting foul. Jaden Quaintance will step to the line for the first time today for either team. First shot, no good, rings out.
You know, I was about to say maybe we'll see some points get on the board here at the charity stripe, but even they're struggling a little bit.
Arizona State 71% from the stripe. That's good for 201st in the country. Second shot, good. Arizona State gets the first point of the game off of a 1 of 2 trip to the line. Seamoss working the baseline, fires it into Dylan Mitchell. Now gets it back from Seamoss. Dan Skillings, here's a lane. Cross court, Jizzle James, catch and shoot 3, it's blocked. What a block from Quaintance, and here comes Arizona State down the other end. Jihad looks for a way in, can't find anything. Now looks for some help, sends it back out to Alston Mason. Mason back to Jihad, trying to back down Jizzle James. Couple of steps in, and that one's swatted away by Seamoss. Plenty of open real estate, up and in for the lay. How about it for Seamoss Lukosius, 2-1 Cincinnati.
And that was just beautiful basketball all the way down by Seamoss. He was able to get his hand in there, knock the ball away, and just like he does, he takes it across the court and respectfully lays it in.
First point scorer for Cincinnati today with 2. That one makes its way into the corner. Adam Miller, Miller's 3, good. Reclaims the lead for Arizona State by 2, 4-2. 15:56 to go here in the first quarter. We are in a break zone as Jizzle James walks across the center court stripe. Trying to get around his defender, and Alston Mason does so with some help from Dylan Mitchell. Mitchell, ball palmed in one hand. A whistle blows underneath, off-ball foul called on number 10, B.J. Freeman. Dan Skillings was the foulee on that play. With that, we'll step aside. Arizona State leads by 2, 4-2, with 15:41 to go here in the first half. And just an update on the Houston-UCF game. Houston snuck it away. They won by 1 point, 69-68. But Colin, what's our outlook here? First 5 minutes of this game, it's been lots of shots, but lots of misses for both sides.
Yeah, and I think this game is becoming exactly what we talked about before the game started. I mean, just a lot of defense. But the defense is coming because neither team can really make the shots. And for the Bearcats specifically, they're working a lot outside the arc. I think they really need to start driving inside more, and they'll see some more success.
Couple of new visitors here for Cincinnati. Day Thomas, C.J. Frederick, and Arden Page enter the game, as well as Josh Reed. So pass at the top of the circle. Dylan Mitchell looks inside, but kicks it off to Day Thomas. Thomas drives inside the paint, kicks it back out. Josh Reed fumbled the pass, is able to recover. 1 second on the shot clock. It's up and misses it wide, but rebounded by Quaintance. And Quaintance will take it down the floor with a little bit of help from Alston Mason. Now 2-point lead for Arizona State. Cincinnati looking for their second conference win of the year. They won the last time out against Colorado. Here's a step back three. Wide right, and it's off the rim and no good. Day Thomas catching with a burst of speed. Dylan Mitchell gets the and one to fall. Dylan Mitchell, are you human? How about it, Cincinnati?
And there you go. That's exactly what you want to see from Cincinnati. Just a big burst of speed there. Good vision to get the ball up to him. And he was
Texas decided to stay in the Big 12 as his first free throw is up and in. Takes a 1-point lead for the Bearcats. Good to see Dylan Mitchell. He's been working on his free throws on his own. Shot 16% from the line earlier this season, but is taking a step in the right direction. Arizona State lost the ball out of bounds. Good defensive pressure for the Bearcats, forcing a turnover. Gives it back to try and increase his lead.
There you go. Cincinnati steps in, causes that turnover, and that alone, though, won't win them the game. They need to step up on offense, take advantage here, get some points.
Here's Day Thomas former JUCO product, transfer from Kilgore College. Steps off to his right, fires it over to C.J. Frederick. He drives inside the lane, puts it up way high. And a rebound snag by Sean Phillips Jr. Dayton, Ohio native, would have a homecoming for him. C.S. Rock takes a step, fires it back to Adams. Adams feeds it inside, and that one's smacked away by Arlington Page. And it's going to stay with Arizona State, but a little forceful there on that block.
Yeah, absolutely, and we've seen a couple of blocks now. It started with Bandago with the one, and then now we see another, and the Bearcats really need to stay on top of that.
Fed it down low to Adam Miller, couldn't quite connect. 16 seconds remain on the shot clock. Miller back with it, guard against C.J. Frederick, good hands there. He's able to get it back outside the arc now. Here's a drive, steps, puts it in the lane, shot is nullified. The official very emphatic on it, but a foul called on, I believe, Josh Reed underneath.
Yeah, it looks like Josh Reed maybe got a little bit of hold of him there as he was driving to the basket. Cincinnati crowd wanted to travel. Refs saw it differently.
Feeds it in, Alston Mason. Back off to the left wing. Miller trying to find the back door. Feeds it down low, a nice pass. Tries to go up with it. At 8 seconds on the clock, and it finds its way in. Sean Phillips Jr. with two more. Dede Thomas quickly to C.J. Frederick. Back and forth. They throw that one. That one knocked in the air. Arlington Page tried to snag that one out of the air, but it's going to go out of bounds. Last touch by Adam Miller. The LSU Illinois transfer. Trying to shake things up here. He'll step off the floor as well. Get a quick blow. So will Jaden Quaintance. Josh Reed on the baseline. Looks for an option. Lobs one, has Arlington Page. 20 seconds on the timer. He stands at the right wing, trying to make his way inside, but there's a whistle and a foul on Sean Phillips Jr.
And there you go, Page just trying to drive inside, and Phillips got too much of him as Page was trying to back him down. That one's a foul all day.
Third team foul, first personal foul for Phillips Jr. Gonna try it again here for Cincinnati on offense. 20 seconds on the shot clock. Dede Thomas can't find an option. Eventually does find one in Arlington. He lost the ball off his foot. Is able to pick it back up. Feeds it down low. Josh Reed. Other way. And a two-hand jam for Dylan Mitchell. Good awareness there from Josh Reed. Didn't have the shot himself, but saw cutting Dylan Mitchell. Takes a 1-point lead once again. 7-6, 13-15 to go here in the half. Bashir Jihad, backdoor, up, no good. Strong rebound by Dylan Mitchell. He got knocked to the floor, and that's foul number 2 on Sean Phillips in a matter of minutes.
And there you go, Mitchell very clearly getting knocked to the ground there after getting the rebound, and he even got the ball away. Might even kept it in bounds, but it didn't matter because he got fouled.
It's a good defense to block that shot as well. Looked like a ball had ricocheted off of Sean Phillips anyway. Cincinnati gets it back with 12:57 to go here in the half. Here's Dede. Pass to his right, Josh Reed on the wing. Looks, bounce pass to Arlington Page. He backs that one out of the air and forces another turnover for Arizona. Here's a catch and shoot three for C.J. Frederick. It's off the back iron. No good, rebounded by Freeman. DJ Freeman stops at the top of the circle, now cuts, feeds it back out. Jihad now top of the circle, trying to look for some help. Now Mason looks back to Bobby Hurley for the play call. 16 seconds on the shot clock. Still can't find much help as he stands at the logo. Fakes off to his right, steps into the three. It's good. 9-7, Arizona State's lead. Cincinnati, a burst of speed. Here's Dylan Mitchell with it. Tries to cut one way, lost the handle, picks it back up. Open three for CJ, he fakes it. Dylan Mitchell now fakes one way, fancy footwork. He went up and got fouled anyway.
Yeah, and Mitchell there looking really nice on the outside, then drove it in, went straight to the basket. Didn't make the shot, but he did get fouled, and he'll go to the line.
He will step to the line when we come back. Cincinnati trailing by 2, 9-7 here from Fifth Third Arena. field. The only difference is that Arizona State has made every three-pointer that they have attempted. Cincinnati has not made one.
Yeah, and that's really just kind of the season it's been for Cincinnati, that if they want to have a chance of staying in this game.
Dylan Mitchell misses his first shot from the line. He got fouled just before the timeout. Takes his second, and it's good. Dylan Mitchell from the stripe. His career is 81 of 165. That's good enough for 49%. So far this season, he's shooting 34%. Kicks it back out. Here's a drive from Freeman, guarded by Dan Skillings. He spins around him, puts it up. 2 more for Arizona State. Here's Cincinnati down the floor. 11-8. Dan Skillings trying to make his way inside. Fakes one way. Can't find some help. Does see Maslukostas eventually. Z flicks it back out. Cross court. Dan Skillings from the corner. Drives. Can't find a good shot. Takes one anyway. It's up and no good. Rebounded by Jihad. Sun Devils down the floor now. There's BJ Freeman. Top of the circle. Pass to his left. Deep three on the way. Off the rim. No good. Another missed three for Arizona State. They're now 2 of 7. Into the corner, Dan Skillings goes. 3 rattles off. Nothing out of 8 attempts for Cincinnati.
And again, the Bearcats just really can't find anything at all from range. Skillings has missed more than a couple now.
Here's Amir Ali, who's entered into the game. Feeds it off, now inside with a little bit of help. A drive. Quaidens kicks it back out. Jihad takes a step to his right. Now back to his left. Can't find a good shot. See Maslukostas, good defense there. Here's a drive from Mason. Behind the back pass at the end of the shot clock. It's up and no good. Offensive board, Quaidens. He puts up a second. Apologies, seem to be having some internet issues here. Here's a drive along the back door, 8 seconds on the shot clock. Excuse me, Aziz Bandego swatted at it, got a fingertip on it. Tyler Betsy picks it up. Jizzle James now, top of the circle. Trying to find his way in, steps in the paint, jumper, up and good. Jizzle James trying to get his way back into rhythm. That's a good way to do it. 10-11 now. Cincinnati trails by 1.
Yeah, great work there from James. He's been kind of cold the last couple of games, but those are the types of shots that you want to get. He sees it fall through, and maybe that can get some momentum rolling for him.
Alston Mason, Oklahoma transfer, steps to his left, passes it to his left. Quaidens lost the ball, and a foul on Aziz Bandego. It's going to be the 3rd team foul, his first of the game. Wasn't a shooting foul. A couple more fouls to give here for Cincinnati. They've got 4. Arizona State has 5 fouls on the half. They have 2 more to give. Mason looks from the baseline. That one fired in, but good defense from Dan Skillings trying to get there against Adam Miller. He swats that one out of bounds, stays with the Sun Devils.
And Skillings really showing a lot of hustle on these last couple of possessions.
Alston Mason now takes it out to the CPAW logo at center court. 12 seconds on the timer. Mason fires. Catch and shoot 3. Up and no good. Rattles off the rim. Another attempt from Amir Ali. That's another missed 3-pointer for both teams. Only seen 2 makes. Dan Skillings now with a drive. Lost one high. Thought he may have wanted a lob for Aziz, but it'll go the other way for Arizona State. A nice pump fake. Drive from Mason. It's up and no good. Good swat out for Jizzle James, and he snags the board. He drives coast to coast. It's up and in. Takes a 1-point lead back for Cincinnati, 12-11.
And like we just talked about, momentum for Jizzle James. There you go. He finds another one, and that one really smooth as well.
Here's Alston Mason. Passes it off to his left. Goes to Ali. Ali fires it over for a catch and shoot 3, and it's up and no good from Adam Miller. Now James, quick in transition, catch and shoot 3 for Simas. Bang! That's the 3 that Cincinnati's been looking for, and forces a timeout out of Arizona State. Largest lead of the day for Cincinnati, 15-11 over the Arizona State Sun Devils when we come back. Welcome back to Fifth Third Arena. 7-0 run over the past minute and a half means that Cincinnati has reclaimed the lead. It's their largest lead of the day, 15-11 over the Arizona State Sun Devils. Simas Lukosius just knocked down a three. It's the first three we've seen today from Cincinnati. They're 1 for 9.
Yeah, that three was absolutely huge for Cincinnati, and this 7-0 run overall really big for Cincinnati. We talked about offensive struggles, but when you can start seeing them go through the hoop, you start rolling, things start to get a lot better on offense. We'll see if that trend continues.
It's a big test here for Cincinnati at home. They have not won in the conference slate so far at Fifth Third Arena. They lost to Arizona and they lost to Kansas. Winning against Arizona State would be a step in the right direction for the Bearcats. Going to back down his man, lost the rock, and a whistle blows, and it's a foul on Tyler Betsy. There's a drive coming in from Shanti Clay. Excuse me, it was Adam Miller, 44, not 14. Going to restart things here. Fresh shot clock for Arizona State. Steps off to his right, does B.J. Freeman. He tried to loft that one, but it's blocked. Tyler Betsy in transition, fires it to Day-Day. Up, no good, and the rebound is up and in for Tyler Betsy. Cincinnati finding a little bit of spark here. The Sun Devils look to cancel out this run. It's now a 9-0 run over the past 2 minutes. Alston Mason flicks it back to Adam Miller. Miller off to Freeman. Freeman now feeds it inside, back door to Jihad. It was out of bounds. Last touch by Day-Day Thomas.
We just saw Tyler Betsy there get on the board, and he's really getting a lot of time in this game. We haven't seen him that much throughout the season so far, but he's really making an impact out there.
7:13 to go here in the first half. Cincinnati leads 17-11. There's a jumper up and no good. And Simas Lukosius snags that board. Bashir Jihad missed the shot. Here's Simas on a cut. Drives, lays it up and in. 19-11, and Cincinnati has chosen the dribble drive instead of kicking it out to the perimeter.
And there you go. That's exactly what you need if you're Cincinnati. The three ball wasn't working. Looks like they realized that, and now they're getting their offense rolling.
8 of 22 from the field as a whole. They've made 1 3 out of 9 attempts. Arizona State 4 of 22. They're 2 for 10 from deep. Here's Miller. He fades this one in, kicks it back out. Freeman trying to drive, 1 second on the timer, and they're not going to make it in time. Stepped out of bounds. It was last touched by Dylan Mitchell, so it's going to be a fresh shot clock and a foul on Dylan Mitchell as well.
Arizona State really fortunate there that it went out off him, gifted a full shot clock here. That one, it said 0.3, but it was about to expire.
An extra step on the hardwood, and that's a shot clock violation for Arizona State. Quickly feeds that one in. That's a foul down low on Dylan Mitchell. 5th team foul. Both teams have 5 apiece. It's going to reset on the sideline in front of the Cincinnati bench. Miller's going to do the honors to inbound. Does so to Mason. Mason, a couple of passes back and forth, ends up back in his hands. Drives inside, now steps back out the perimeter, 8 seconds on the timer. Spins left, goes right, fires it over, 3 ball up, no good. Rebounded by Josh Reed. Another missed 3 from Adam Miller. Day-Day Thomas now stops left wing. Flicks it short distance over to Dylan Mitchell, who gives it right back to Day-Day Thomas. Thomas looking for a door, can't find a way in. Does so from the Big 12 logo, it's in. 10-point lead for Cincinnati, and the lead just keeps on growing.
Just a really smooth step back jumper there from Day-Day Thomas, and Bearcats now all over the board getting points.
Day-Day Thomas 1 of 2, is 2 points on the day so far. Here's a drive, Quayton spins around, can't find it. A lid on that rim for Arizona State. Bearcats with 5.5 to play here in the half. 22 seconds on the shot clock, 21-11. Cincinnati's got the lead. Catch and shoot 3, CJ. How about it, CJ Frederick? The Kentucky transfer finds another tray, and Cincinnati has stepped on the gas here offensively in the first half.
I mean, Cincinnati looking so great offensively right now, and that three-pointer just set Fifth Third Arena on fire.
24-11. Heat check three, up and good for B.J. Freeman, and silences the crowd. And here's Day Thomas, back and forth with Josh Reed. 16-3 run for the Bearcats. It's a 24-14 game. The 10-point lead for Cincinnati. Dylan Mitchell down low, bounce pass, Arns and Page. Page a couple steps outside the paint, tries to feed it into Dylan Mitchell, does so successfully, feeds it down low. Josh Reed, a couple of passes, he gets it up off the board. That ball lost out of bounds, and a foul on Josh Reed. Fans don't like it if that's not apparent.
Yeah, I was just about to say, crowd very obviously does not like the call. I'm a little shocked myself. I mean, Reed was getting a lot of contact there under the basket. Now they're showing the replay here, crowd even more furious.
A lot of contact, goes the other way. Arizona State gets it back. 4:20 to go, first half. Miller had a loose handle, gets it back with some help into the corner as the ball loose in the air. Josh Reed has an arm wrapped around the neck of B.J. Freeman. There's some chippiness down on the floor between these two teams. Jump ball call.
Chippiness indeed. I mean, Reed was probably a little frustrated about that call. Like you mentioned, he had his arm fully wrapped around B.J. Freeman. Freeman ripped himself free. Crowd wants a tag.
Looks like we're gonna send this one to a timeout. But you look at this, and Josh Reed full on chokehold, not around the neck, but around his head, trying to get the rebound. It was almost the divot in the elbow wrapped across the face, around his nose, and B.J. Freeman obviously frustrated with the lack of call as it goes jump ball.
Yeah, I'm really shocked by that. When I realized what was happening under the basket, I mean, it was Reed's arm, like you said, fully around his head. And I feel like typically that's some sort of foul call. But yeah, jump ball.
Looks like the officials are at the monitor. We'll step aside, take a quick break, and be back with the verdict here on Bearcat Sports Radio. Welcome back to Fifth Third Arena. We enter the back end of this media timeout. It doesn't seem like there will be any fouls assessed to either team as of yet. We haven't heard the official verdict. But as it stands, it's a jump ball. Possession arrow points Arizona State. So the Sun Devils will have it on the baseline. Fans are starting to get a little bit more into it here. Official call, jump ball. Jaden Quaintance feeds it in. 10 seconds on the shot clock, and it punched away by Dan Skillings. It'll stay with the Sun Devils with 9 seconds left on the timer. We were talking during the break, interesting no call between both teams. They feel like there would be offsetting technical fouls called there on the floor.
Yeah, definitely very shocked. I guess the refs just in some form of let them play.
Adam Miller with the rock, 3 seconds on the shot clock, drives inside, missed it wide, and a foul called on the defense in Cincinnati.
And
it's going to go on Tyler Betsy.
Just unfortunate for Cincinnati. I mean, well defended all throughout the possession. Again, it was at the end of the shot clock. 2 seconds left maybe. Just put one up there, and Cincinnati too aggressive.
Going to be shots coming up for Miller. First trip to the line today. First shot, up and good. But like you said, just an unfortunate turn of events, and the timing not the best if you're going to look at it in terms of 2 seconds left on the shot clock, and now 2 free points available. Already got one. Miller's second is good. 24-16. Cincinnati still has a lead. Jumped out to as high as a 13-point lead after a 16-0 run over a 4-minute span. Day Thomas, high pass, caught by Aziz Bandego. Stands top of the circle, feeds it back to Dan Skillings. Skillings thought about the three, now drives, kicks it back out. Wing three, now for Day Thomas, off the rim, no good. Dan Skillings caught in traffic, and he's not going to be able to win the board. It's going to be Jaden Quayton sticking it the other way. Austin Mason now. 6'2", senior guard. Off to his left, there's a BJ Freeman. Freeman left wing. Top of the circle now, Quayton's pump fakes one pass inside, trying to get over Aziz Bandego. Finds a little bit of help in Bashir Jihad. And now a foul down low on Tyler Betsy again.
Things have definitely gotten more aggressive now towards the end of this first half, and Cincinnati really on the negative end here, starting to rack up those fouls. They're at 8 now.
It's going to be the second foul for Tyler Betsy on the game. Arizona State in the bonus. Jihad steps to the line for the first time. First shot, good. But when you look at it, the officials now starting to call a little bit more than they did throughout the first couple of minutes.
Yeah, definitely getting a lot more picky here down towards the end of the first half, and they're really just watching like a hawk to see where that aggression comes from, who it's on.
Jihad second shot up and good, 24-18 now. A 6-0 run for Arizona State. 4 of them have been from the free throw line. Here's Jizzle James. Short pass, Dan Skillings fires it back to James. He's on the right wing, trying to kick it inside. Finds Dan Skillings instead. Skillings drives, kicks it back out. Jizzle, 3 ball. It's up, it's no good. Fighting for the board, one by Arizona State. Here's Bashir Jihad. Hands it off to Mason. Mason from the near side to the far side, off to his left on the floor. About 2.5 minutes to go here in the first half. Cincinnati 24, Arizona State 18. Miller, a little bit of help. Ball got knocked away from BJ Freeman, was able to track it down. He stands outside the circle, now moves top of the key. Inside the paint, spin move, up and good. Down to a 4-point ball game here between Cincinnati and Arizona State, 24-20. Dan Skillings now outside the arc, fires it back to Jizzle James. James looks for a door inside, can't find anything. Cuts one way, back the other, back door, feeds it back out, kick out three is up, and it is good from Tyler Betsy. The freshman can shoot, watch out for him.
There you go, one of those perimeter threes finally falls for Cincinnati. We saw them try it a couple more times here in the last couple of minutes. Missed a couple, but that was a much needed ball.
27-20 now, Cincinnati. Miller looks to answer. Can't find it. The whistle blows and a foul underneath on Arizona State. It's going to go down on Bashir Jihad. His second, team 6. One more foul to give here in the half for Arizona State. Sun Devils are in single bonus. Cincinnati does have the favor of the possession arrow in the next minute, 48 seconds. Day Thomas on the floor now, replaces Jizzle James. 20 seconds on the timer, a minute and a half to go. Dan Skillings quickly, wide open. Dylan Mitchell couldn't find a shot. Jaden Quayton's came up and set up the defense with like a rock. And Dan Skillings gets the lucky roll. Back to a 9-point lead for Cincinnati.
And there you go, Skillings, he'll make his attempt to drive inside. He found some luck in the paint, and that's where the Bearcats are finding success towards the middle of this half. They really need to start to go back to that.
Dylan Mitchell, some aggressive defense on the far side of the floor. Broke up the pass. And Jaden Quaidens couldn't quite hold on to it, but it'll sail out of bounds. Last touch by Mitchell. Arizona State basketball, 1:13 to go in the half, 19 seconds to go here on the shot clock. 29-20 is your score in favor of the Bearcats. Lob pass goes in. Dylan Mitchell swipes it away. Here come the Cats. Simas for three. No good. It's good! What in the world did I just witness? It bounced straight up in the air and back down through the hoop. 32-20.
I mean, what a bounce on that ball.
And here comes Day-Day off the swoop and steal. Feeds it to Aziz. It's up and in. 14-point lead for Cincinnati, 34-20. Here's chaos in the Big 12.
I mean, it doesn't get much better than that for the end of the first half.
Alston Mason to drive. It's up and good. 34 seconds remaining here in the half. And now the shot clock turned off. Cincinnati's going to hold on to it and have the final shot. Simas Lukosius across the center court stripe, and a foul called, or timeout called for Cincinnati. Had that use it or lose it timeout. Going to take it and get things set up here.
Yeah, and you might as well, if you're Wes Miller there, maybe even get some more of this momentum rolling. We just saw it there with two huge shots in a row, especially that one from Lukosius. I mean, straight up in the air off the rim. It looked like it was going to go wildly left and just fall straight back in and through.
And I mean, that's some kind of wizardry that Simas has that I mean, I don't think anybody in this arena really expected that shot to fall. I'm pretty sure everybody had their hands on their heads. It's like, oh, not another missed three, but straight up, you heard the explosion of the crowd.
Yeah, I mean, it just went from oh man, we just missed that three to whoa, we're back up 14 now. It's quite the mood swing there from this crowd in Fifth Third Arena.
Bearcats are now 4 of 14 from distance, 14 of 31 overall from the field today. 23.6 seconds to go here in the half. Cincinnati's got the basketball. Day-Day fires it in to Dan Skillings. He gives it right back. 20 seconds to go. Here's Day-Day. Step for step, Alston Mason guarding him, letting the clock wind down. 10 seconds to go. Day-Day still with the rock. Offense comes to try and set things up. 5 seconds. 4. Jumper. It's up. It's good. 2. 1 second. And that ends the half. Cincinnati comes out swinging here after the first media timeout. 36-22 is your score in halftime.
Yeah, and I mean, I think some of the successes there for that first half was when Cincinnati can play good offense, this is a really good basketball team, and that really is what has led them to this 14-point lead going into the half.
We'll step aside and have the second half coming up here in just about 15 minutes. Colin Coons will take the play-by-play responsibilities here in the second half of Cincinnati men's basketball here on Bearcat Sports Radio.
Coming out of halftime here in Fifth Third Arena, Cincinnati Bearcats taking on the Arizona State Sun Devils. Bearcats and Sun Devils both have been on a little bit of a slide in conference play so far, but both teams very obviously hungry for a win here in conference play. Bearcats looking for their first win at home in the conference. Arizona State looking to spoil that for Cincinnati. Cincinnati, though, they have been strong. They were strong throughout the first half. Bearcats are up 36-22. What has led them to that success in that first half, Ethan?
I mean, it helps the runs that they've taken here in this first half. They ended shooting 5 of their last 5 shots. Seamas has come alive from distance. He's 2 of 3. CJ Frederick's 1 for 2. Tyler Betsy's 1 for 1. And I was talking with some people back in the halftime segment, and you look at how this team has gone. They made the adjustment to go into the paint and drive in the lane. You make that adjustment, you get comfortable inside the lane, you can find that kick out three, because then you're left with no defenders on the outside and can fire it out for something that you have. Arsim Masuko, big threes last season. Lots of buzzer beater threes at that. But Cincinnati, they're adjusting on offense. They're figuring out the things that work for them in the paint, and that's how they've taken this lead 36-22.
Yeah, I really think you hit the nail on the head right there. I mean, we talked about it a bunch in that first half about Cincinnati's offense and the struggles all year, but the struggles specifically early in this game. They were looking for that 3 ball immediately off every single possession. It was just a put-up 3 every single time, and they really weren't having that patience of working it inside. And once they started finding that room in the paint, finding those shots, then they really got out to this lead. Bearcats up again, 36-22, 14-point lead. A lot of excitement from the offensive side towards the ending of that first half. Especially that Seamus Lukosius 3 bouncing straight up off the rim and somehow finding its way home.
Yeah, I turned around during that. I made that call, and I assumed it was going to keep going to the right, but it had some weird trajectory on the rim that it bounced straight up and back down the hole.
Bearcats will start the ball on offense. Dylan Mitchell has it on the right side. He'll get it up to Aziz at the stripe. He'll loft one up. It's good. Bearcats first on the board in this second half.
And one of the biggest things that Cincinnati needed was Jizzle James to get back into rhythm. He could shoot the mid-range perfectly. He's been slow ever since.
And Mitchell now with the steal. He'll put that one up and smokes it. Just barely missing on the left side.
And on the other end, that's what you can't do. You have to capitalize off the steals.
Arizona State back with the ball after the missed layup. Mason has it around the outside. He'll take it now around the perimeter, looking for somebody. He'll keep it himself. Now he'll continue to work inside, gets it across the court. Now Jaheed has it now inside. Ball put up, foul is called. Quintense got fouled putting it up. He will take a trip to the line. Quaintance at the stripe. He'll put this one up, and it's good. Make it a 3-point play for the Sun Devils.
The biggest thing to look at, too, Cincinnati hasn't been to the stripe very often. Arizona State, they've capitalized every single shot that they've taken.
James now moving quickly, puts that one up. Easy shot, finding the bottom of the net.
And Cincinnati, they're up. They now have a 15-point lead here, 40-25, and you hold on to this lead, you keep the offense up, you have the defense already. The offensive play is what's going to come and keep them into this game.
Sun Devils working inside. That one lofted up, no good. Came from Miller. Bearcats able to take the rebound. Seamus Lukosius now has it, left side of the court. We'll get it to Bandango. Bandango fakes it to Lukosius. Now Skillings has it, drives inside, loses the ball. Flies out of bounds. Stay with the Bearcats after the foul. Foul coming on Adam Miller of the Sun Devils. That one was on the floor. It was Arizona State's first of the half. Bearcats now look to inbound. It's James. He gets it into Lukosius. Lukosius backing down Miller. Lukosius spinning around, puts one up, no good, in and out of the rim. Bandego, though, on the rebound. He'll kick it out to James. James will take his time, compose himself. He'll drive inside, crossover, up and good. Jizzle James.
That was the nastiest move I've seen from Jizzle James all season. That move on the floor, wow.
Austin Mason has it. He now gives it to Freeman. Sun Devils are working around the court. Miller now has it back to Freeman in the corner. Well defended by Mitchell. Mitchell not giving him an inch. Freeman trying to find some room. Lots of fakes. Not much happening. Now he finds no-look pass under the basket. It's good, coming from Bashir Jihad.
I mean, Cincinnati did everything they could on that play. Just a lucky roll on offense.
James now will take it for the Bearcats. They'll bring it over just to the left of the logo. He'll now cross right. Gets over to the corner. Skillings has it. Taking his time. Bearcats in no rush. Now Lukosius has it. Thought about the three. Decided not to. Now he'll make a drive inside. He gets fouled. Going there. Again, Miller is called with the foul. It's his second and Arizona State's second of the half. Bearcats will retain possession. Lukosius to inbound it. He'll put this one up high for Mitchell. Mitchell colliding with Mason. He's able to keep his eyes on the ball, though, and keep it. Skillings now has it. He'll get it back to Mitchell. Mitchell trying to back down. He'll now use his muscle inside, spinning around. Big body Dylan Mitchell.
I mean, that's just the strength of Dylan Mitchell that you want to see. He displayed that at Texas last season in their last season in the Big 12. And coming into Cincinnati, it's been almost copy-paste for Dylan Mitchell.
Quayton has it, kicks it out to Mason. Mason for three, no good. On the rebound, Bandego scrambling for it. Quayton gets it, though. Now kick out to the other wing, and that one is good from Freeman.
And you got to find a way to get those boards. Aziz was right there. Maybe just you had to reach that arm out and smack that away. That prevents the three.
Cincinnati's still up 44-30. 16:21 left to go in the second half. Jizzle James has it, far side of the court. He'll cross over now, looking, finds Mitchell. Mitchell thought about the three. Now loses the ball. Quayton's able to get the steal. Now Sun Devils working the other way. Freeman has it, Skillings defending. Freeman working his way into the paint, now kicks it out. Bandego almost got a hand on the ball. Now three-point attempts coming. This one good, again from Adam Miller. And looks like Wes Miller will take a timeout after a little bit of a run for Arizona State. Bearcats, though, still up 11. Don't go anywhere. Big 12 basketball inside the Queen City. Cincinnati Bearcats taking on the Arizona State Sun Devils. Coming out of the Wes Miller timeout here. Arizona State 6-0 run over the last 41 seconds, cutting the lead down to 11. Wes Miller wanted to slow things down, get his guys composed, maybe get them rolling again.
And you look at the run, I mean, basketball, obviously, a game of runs. It's going to be run after run for both teams. It's just going to see how Cincinnati can respond after this one.
Cincinnati has it on offense. Day Thomas has it just across the line. He's defended by Mason. Thomas gets to Mitchell, now back to Thomas. Reed now checked into the game for the Bearcats. He has it. Back to Thomas up top. Take a trip to the left side. Knocked away by Arizona State for a second. Now Frederick has it. He'll get it over to Mitchell. Arizona State tough on the defense, but Frederick has it outside for three. No good. Into the shot clock shot, and looks like we see a foul come.
It's going to be a quick foul on Jizzle James, and it was an off-ball foul. Looking at it, fans unsure, but got sent us to a timeout.
Yeah, and we will head again to a timeout there, immediate timeout this time. We'll be right back with Big 12 basketball. Coming out of the media timeout here, Cincinnati Bearcats taking on Arizona State. Bearcats still up 11. Off-ball foul did just come from number 22, Arrington Page. So Arizona State will come out of the timeout with the ball. We'll immediately start with Adam Miller. He'll inbound to Mason. Mason will bring it across the logo. Now he'll get into Quaintance. Quaintance defended by Page. Sun Devils working around the outer arc. Mason has it again. He'll drive inside, lofts one up. This one rolls over the rim, no good. Page on the rebound.
It's been a tough shooting day for Arizona State. 11 of 35 so far. Cincinnati, they've capitalized, 49%.
Page has it. He'll make a drive to the rim of his own, spinning around, trying to get past Quaintance. Puts a shot up, no good though. Arizona State on the rebound, and they'll work now the other way. Freeman has it. He'll drive inside the paint, lofts it up again, no good, but put back, bouncing off the fingertips of Quaintance, and it fell for Arizona State. Thomas now with the ball for Cincinnati. Mason trying to make a stab at it. Thomas surveying his options, gets it over to Reed. Reed spinning around, couldn't find anything after the spin though. Page has it outside, looking for somebody. He'll take it in himself. He'll take a spin of his own, lofts it up, and it's good off the glass.
It was a good look, and it was good control as well from Josh Reed. Made the moves, couldn't find anything, backed out, found Dylan Mitchell, who was wide open.
And Quaintance wide open under the rim, and he slams one down on top of Reed's head. Lead cut down to 9 now for Cincinnati. Gonna need to get something rolling on offense. Thomas has it, left side. Now he'll get up to Mitchell. Mitchell took his time, thought about it maybe too long, goes off the left side of the rim. Arizona State will bring it across with a chance to cut down this lead even further. Mason has it, directing traffic. Well defended by Thomas, now gives it to Freeman. Freeman to Quaintance up top. Now Jihad has it. He finds it, room, backdoor cut. Shot falls for Alston Mason.
And that's just what you can't do. He was uncontested, looking for that back lane. Took it all the way up.
Day-Day Thomas has it as this lead has gotten even smaller for Cincinnati. Needs some good offensive work here. Thomas has it, gets it over to the corner to Frederick. Now back to Thomas up top. Thomas driving, lofts one up just past the free throw line, no good. Bounces hard off the rim. Arizona State will work the other way. Freeman has it, he'll take it all the way himself. Puts it up, no good. Bearcats fighting each other for the rebound, Reed and Page. Reed ends up getting his hands on it. Now Frederick has it. He'll get it over to Mitchell in the corner. Mitchell taking his time again. He'll direct some traffic. Reed up top, now back to Mitchell. Mitchell backing down. Enters the paint, spinning around, lost one up, no good. Not enough arm. Arizona State now trying to make some more offensive magic happen. Mason has it up top, gets it to Quaintance. Arizona State working the ball around. Freeman has it, now back to Mason. Mason lofts one up for 3, it's good. Arizona State really starting to roll on offense.
Dylan Mitchell on that play almost had the steal, but good hands for Arizona State. Able to keep it on their side.
Thomas takes it to the right side of the floor. Bearcats lead down to 4. 11:47 left to go in this game. Blocked by Quaintance. Going to the rim, and it looks like we will have a timeout called. Timeout will be called by Arizona State. Bearcats really not doing well offensively right now. We'll take a quick step aside from the timeout. Join you back afterwards. And we join you back out of the timeout for more Big 12 basketball action. Arizona State has been on an absolute offensive tear. 15-2 run over the last 4 minutes and 51 seconds, cutting Cincinnati's lead down to just a measly 4 now. Cincinnati really going to need to get the offensive juices flowing again if they want a chance to hold on in this ball game.
I mean, yeah, Cincinnati, they're one of their last 7, haven't scored the past 2.5 minutes, and you bring in Dan Skillings and Simas Lukosius, who have all entered double figures, along with Dylan Mitchell, trying to find some kind of gas here.
And Lukosius, they're surrounded on both sides, just put up a desperation shot, was no good. Arizona State now with a chance to cut the lead down to 1 possession. Quaintance has it defended by Bandago. Quaintance trying to find something inside, knocked away by Skillings though, and that's exactly what you need him to do.
Dan Skillings, I don't even think he meant to do that. He just tripped over the ball.
Thomas goes for 3, no good. Arizona State will get back on the offensive possession. Again, a chance to cut it down to 1 possession. 3-point ball, no good. And that is an air ball from B.J. Freeman.
And B.J. Freeman's reaction, God bless him. He took his face to his head, to his mouth, and was like, oh, I shouldn't have done that.
Crowd definitely letting him hear it. Jizzle James now driving to the basket, lost one cross court for Dan Skillings. Dan Skillings will make a drive now inside, goes up to the basket, gets fouled, shot no good. Skillings, though, will take a trip to the line.
It's going to be his first trip to the line today. One of the top scorers for this Bearcats team, and if you look at his free throw shooting on the year, 15 of 23. He doesn't go often, but he shoots 65%, which is also what he shoots in his career, 6.654.
Skillings at the line, first one is good. Free throw shooting has been a struggle all year for Cincinnati. Really only a couple of guys who can shoot the free throw efficiently.
Cincinnati, they're in the bottom 350 of teams in free throw shooting.
Skillings' second was good. Bearcats do push that lead back up to 6 points. Crowd now with a little bit more energy. Mason will bring it across the Seapaw. Jizzle James defending. Mason trying to make a move past him. Gets it over to Quaintance. Quaintance trying to pass to Freeman, a little bit of a fumble. Freeman looking for somebody, finds Quaintance under the basket. Now kick out corner three, and that one blocked by Day Thomas.
Day, why don't you go ahead and get up there, 6'1" senior guard? Got up there, smacked that one away, and you don't see many blocks from him. It's only his 3rd of the year.
7 seconds left on the shot clock for Arizona State. They're gonna have to work fairly quickly. Miller has it outside, trying to find some room. Shot clock down to 3, 2, lofts one up, rattles in and out, no good. Phillips, though, on the rebound, put up no good. Skillings diving for it. Hand, though, knocking it out of bounds.
That was a great offensive board there from Sean Phillips Jr., Dayton, Ohio native. I mean, he grew up watching Flyer basketball, I'm sure. So, you know, all those players got up there, fought for that board, and he has the frame to do it, staying at 7 foot flat.
Phillips saving the possession for the Sun Devils. They have a fresh 20 on the shot clock. Miller has it way out near midcourt. He'll take his time. Now gets it over to Mason. Mason defended by James. Shot clock down to 10. James not giving him an inch. Mason trying to find some room. Bandago now picks him up. Cross court to Freeman. Freeman drives inside of the paint. Blocked by Bandago. Put up, though, by Phillips. It's good. Freeman is down on the floor.
He's writhing in pain. I think he got stepped on.
Definitely not a good scene.
He went up holding his knee. And he is still down on the floor. Trainers
were very quick to get out there.
I think it was just inadvertent contact on the floor.
He was down on the ground for quite a while after passing the ball. Just kind of one of those incidental things that happens. He very well could have been stepped on, and not a great scene.
Freeman, 10 points, 4 of 12 from the field, 2 of 5 from 3. 5 rebounds as well as an assist. Unsure of what exactly happened, but when he went down, he was holding what looked like his kneecap specifically. He can move his left leg fine. He can't move his right leg, though.
Head coach Bobby Hurley out there now, checking on his guy, and now he'll have a conversation with the refs, maybe seeing if they know what happened. Looks like it was very clear that wasn't intentional, wasn't any type of foul in any sort of way.
You see athletic trainer Bob Van Gene also looking on from a distance as Freeman's able to get up on with a little bit of help.
Yeah, and certainly favoring that right knee. Can't put really any weight on it.
You can tell from up here how swollen his knee is. He can't even bend it.
He will be helped off the floor by 2 members of the Arizona State staff. And looks like he will head into the tunnel to get checked out.
Here, Ali's gonna come in to replace him.
Now we will get back to basketball. Bearcats do have the possession. Seamus Lukosius will inbound to Jizzle James. Bearcats lead now down to 4, 48-44 in favor of Cincinnati. Just under 10 minutes left to go in the ball game. James has it towards the boundary. Now gets to Skillings, middle of the floor. Skillings driving to his right. Now back out to James. 10 on the shot clock. James dribbling left and right. Now gets it back out to Betsy this time. Betsy, way misguided shot. Bandago, though, able to save it behind his back.
Looks like it's not going to count, though, but, I mean, that's acrobatic from Aziz Bandago. Trying to get there, and, I mean, the quickness to throw it behind the back like that. I mean, that's what you see in backyard football.
Yeah, I mean, that was just really impressive from Bandago. I'm surprised I guess he didn't save it, but he got it all the way around his back, like you said, and just very athletic move. Arizona State now, though, back on the other end of the floor. Miller has it. He gets it knocked away by Skillings. Bandago now picks him up. Miller across the court, intercepted by Lukosius. Lukosius now gets it out to James. James had some room. Now Lukosius has some room. He'll go for 3. No good. Bounces off the back iron. Skillings, though, he on the rebound. Lofts up a quick shot. Looks like he does get fouled.
Drew the foul on Sean Phillips Jr. It was a good, I mean, that's a good steal on the other end from Seamas to back this up here in the timeline. And fans waving goodbye to Phillips Jr. He's got 4.
And yeah, I mean, we talked, he racked up 2 early in the game. Talked about it long ago, but now really starting to bite them.
Some big foul trouble for the 7-footer.
Skillings does miss his first at the line. And there, like we just mentioned during his last trip, the struggles Cincinnati has had at the line.
Cincinnati now 67% from the stripe. But going back to the Seamas Lukosius steal, I mean, he reached back, and you know 2016 Odell Beckham Jr., that's what he looked like down on the floor. He snagged that one with one hand behind the back, was able to regain his balance, run down the floor, and got it back to try and take a 3. Unfortunately missed the 3, but did get 1 off the 2 free throws awarded to Cincinnati.
Yeah, it definitely did look like a football type of move, but unfortunately only resulted in 1 point for Cincinnati.
If you can't tell, I played football.
Arizona State now on the other side of the floor. Cincinnati with a 5-point lead. We see Ali has it. We go over to Jihad. Now back over, 3-point shot, no good. That one came from Ali. Bearcats, though, able to secure the rebound. Lukosius has it. Bearcats moving it quickly around the outside. Skillings has it inside the paint. Puts it up, no good, knocked away by Quaintance. Skillings, though, able to get his own rebound. Trying to go up again, and again, blocked by Quaintance.
I mean, hey, Dan Skillings, he is not much so far on the stat sheet. 3 for 4 from the line. Hasn't made a 3-point bucket and 1 of 8 from the field. But the rebounding for Dan Skillings has been, and the defense for Dan Skillings, what's been really important as BJ Freeman comes back on the floor.
Yeah, and this is, I mean, I would say impressive by him after how much clear pain he was in after just going off the floor.
Fans letting him hear it after the one bad air ball that he had a couple minutes ago.
Fans not sparing anything. That's just how it goes in college basketball.
That's how it goes in the Queen City.
Bearcats inbound. Betsy has it. He'll work it over to Lukosius. Lukosius to Mitchell. Mitchell wanted to get it back to Lukosius, but the lane was blocked. Now Betsy has it. Trying to make some magic happen. Shot clock down to 3. He's got to find a shot. Got to force one up there. Three-pointer, no good. Too strong. Mitchell, though, good a rebound. Now he'll slow things down for Cincinnati. He gets it over to Skillings. Skillings, big burst of speed inside.
Oh.
Slam, no good. He just barely missed.
But he got the foul called. In Cincinnati, that's the offensive boards you need. If you're going to be a low-scoring team, scoring 49 with 7:36 left in the second half, that's how you have to be aggressive on the offensive glass.
Yeah, absolutely. And Bearcats really need to continue that. 7 minutes, 36 seconds left to go. We'll join you back after the media timeout. Back in action here out of the media timeout. Fifth Third Arena, University of Cincinnati taking on Arizona State Sun Devils. And my goodness, the Ruckus is letting Freeman have it. They will not let him forget that air ball for the life of them. They have just been relentless. But that's a part of what makes it so difficult to play here inside of Fifth Third Arena. This crowd is rowdy. They love Cincinnati basketball.
Yeah, I don't know if you heard the free ball chants as Dan Skillings misses the first of his trip to the line, but it's what makes Cincinnati, and I will give a little bit of credit. I know I'm a Cincinnati fan, but to the guys over in Norwood and Xavier, Cincinnati is an unrivaled basketball town, and a lot of people don't realize it.
Yeah, and Cincinnati has really been one of those strong teams for a long time, and now really on that upwards path to success, especially so if they can start to pull out more Big 12 wins like today. Bearcats up 6, Arizona State has the ball. Jihad has it, working on Mitchell, drive inside in the paint, finds some room off the glass, banks it in.
Good drive from Jihad, that's all I gotta say.
Skillings has it, throws a shoulder.
And that's a dangerous one there too. Dan Skillings could have very easily, just as easily gotten called for the charge call right there for throwing the shoulder, but was able to draw the foul.
Yeah, really fortunate that he drew that foul. It was probably very, very close decision for the officials. As Skillings now will take another trip back to the line. He's been responsible for the last 3 trips for Cincinnati.
So he makes the first, and Cincinnati now are 7 of 10 from the stripe, 70%. They're slowly making their way back up, and they've made one more than Arizona State has, but you gotta figure out a way to get consistent from the line. That's how you're gonna win basketball games down the stretch, especially in the Big 12.
Yeah, I was thinking the exact same thing. It comes down to free throws, free throws, free throws. Skillings there making both. That's huge for Cincinnati. This lead back up to 6 now. Arizona State has it outside the arc. Ball gets to Mason. Mason will drive inside, well defended by Mitchell. Shot up, no good, goes over the rim. Quaintance, though, able to get it and slam one down.
It's just a rare instance of bad hands from Dan Skillings. Couldn't quite get that rebound down low, and it's going to result in the slam from Quaintance.
Thomas has it. He's taking it slow. He's at the C-paw. Gets over to Frederick. Now back to Thomas. Bendengo now has it. Looking for somebody to give it to. Finds Skillings. Skillings wants to make a move. Drives inside. Lost one up. No good. Not strong enough. Off the side of the rim. BJ Freeman has it. He'll take it up the floor for Arizona State. Get up behind him to Mason. Mason has it corner of the floor. He'll now take it to the center. Looking for some movement. Gets to Quaintance. Now knocked away by Skillings. Skillings going the other way in the paint. Jumping up. Slam! Dan Skillings.
You got to put that one on a poster. Good steal. Good finish on the other end from Skillings.
Arizona State now will need to look for an answer. Mason has it near the midline. Now gets to Quaintance. Quaintance with a lot of speed going downhill, but loses the ball at the end. Now gets back on top of it. Now gives it to Freeman, but the shot doesn't matter because a travel is called and it will go Cincinnati's way.
And that, I wasn't shocked it was called sooner because, I mean, you looked at Quaintance and he slid on the floor holding the rock. And that, I mean, that's a travel all day.
A very easy call for the officials. And very fortunate call for Cincinnati. They get their lead back up to 6 after the Skillings slam. They will inbound it. And Mason being aggressive immediately on Thomas right after the inbound. Thomas gets it across the floor. 5 minutes, 30 seconds left to go in this ball game. Cincinnati up 54-48. Mitchell has it, gets to Bendengo. Now left side to Frederick. Frederick up top to Lukosius. Now back to Frederick, now back to Lukosius. He'll go for 3, misguided off to the right. Dede Thomas though able to get the rebound. Frederick, he'll try for 3, it's good! CJ Frederick, silky smooth.
And this is a name that you haven't heard a lot this season. CJ Frederick came in, had good minutes for Cincinnati last year. He was slow to start this year, but ever since, let him fly, baby. 3 points galore for Cincinnati.
Huge three-point shot for Cincinnati, and Arizona State will take a 30-second timeout. We'll join you afterwards as this one keeps heating up. The Bearcats are absolutely feeling themselves coming out of this timeout. They have extended their lead back up to 9 after the CJ Frederick three-point shot. Arizona State will have the ball. They'll immediately inbound to Quaintance. Quaintance has it. He gets up to Mason up top. Mason directing, trying to find some room, doesn't get anything. Cincinnati's there. Quaintance has it, working on Bendengo, not able to get the shot to fall though. Cincinnati will work quickly the other way. Mitchell has it. Didn't go all the way though. He'll get it back out to Frederick. Lukosius now to Thomas. Thomas working his way around the outside, now at the baseline. Looks like he just loses it there. Lost the handle. Ball goes out off of him. Arizona State will get the possession back.
I almost thought he dribbled it off the foot of the defender on the baseline, but I guess dribbled it on the line itself.
Mason has it. Arizona State looking to get something rolling again. Now to Freeman, back to Mason. Thomas defending, Freeman moving quickly. Now Mitchell able to get a hand in there, not able to capitalize though. Now Arizona State under the basket, finding Jihad. Shot goes up, no good, gets fouled.
I don't know about that one. I mean, Dylan Mitchell, he looked like he was standing straight up in the paint. going to be foul number 3. Starting to get a little bit of foul trouble here. The only other players in foul trouble is Jihai with 3 and Phillips Jr. with 4 on the other end for Arizona State.
Jihad at the line. First one is good. Arizona State slowly chipping away at that Cincinnati lead. They'll have a chance here to cut it down to 7 if this second shot is good. And it is. 57-50 in favor of Cincinnati. 4 minutes, 12 seconds left to go in the ball game. Jizzle James has it for Cincinnati over by the 5th-3rd logo. Arizona State pressing. Lukosius now has it. Cincinnati able to break it, get it across the midline. James has it at the bottom of the logo. Working slowly. He gets it over to Mitchell. Mitchell finding Bandago up top. Cincinnati with a lot of movement. Lob! Oh my goodness, Dylan Mitchell!
Superman coming in and laying the 2-hand jam! What a lob from C.J. Frederick!
Frederick looked like he was maybe even gonna put up a 3, but just saw Mitchell under the basket and Lob City. Arizona State needs to find some sort of an answer, and Mason is just collapsed on by Aziz Bandago. And wow.
Buckle up, I told you it'd be a wild ride. Here we go, baby.
Things are getting crazy in the Queen City. We'll take a quick media timeout. Cincinnati up 9. We'll be right back. Aziz Bandago, a force to be reckoned with here as we come out of the media timeout. Bandago absolutely collapsing, just blocking. Just crazy work by Bandago. Arizona State does have the ball, immediately inbound to Freeman. Freeman puts it up, no good. Lukosius trying to get the rebound. It was just barely on that baseline.
That's going to the monitor. That has to, because that was nowhere near the baseline.
Officials will just stick with the call, and Arizona State will get it. Quaintance has it. He'll work on Bandago, spinning around, trying to find room. Bandago not giving it to him, but Quaintance able to just get it barely over the fingertips of Bandago and get one to fall. Lead back down to 7 for Cincinnati. Mitchell has it for Cincinnati. James has it by the 5th third logo. He's taking his time. 2 minutes, 50 seconds left to go in the ball game. Ball knocked away from Thomas, but Quaton's a little too aggressive, catching him in the face and catching a foul.
It's going to be it's going to be a second foul of the day. And a good break for Cincinnati. They enter the bonus. 7 fouls for Arizona State, 4 fouls to give for Cincinnati.
Thomas will take a trip to the line. Some pretty important shots here, like we mentioned earlier. Really big down the stretch to make these free throws in Big 12 play. Thomas's first one is good. That'll extend the lead out to 8. Second attempt on the way. And it's good from Thomas.
Dede Thomas, he's not one of those ones who want to send to the line. He shoots 80%. He's 16 for 20 coming into the day. You got to watch out who you foul and send to the line.
Looks like a little bit of confusion on the inbound here. Not quite sure what happened. They inbounded the ball and the officials blew it dead. Now they're set up to inbound it again. And they do. Bobby Hurley talking with the official, trying to see what was going on. Arizona State does inbound it. Quaintance now has it. Then knocked away by Mitchell. Mitchell's going fast the other way. Jump up, slam, windmill. Dylan Mitchell, disgusting.
I think I just witnessed a crime. That is insane from Dylan Mitchell. He's got slams galore in his back pocket.
That was just incredible. And a foul does come on the other end, but the Mitchell dunk, the windmill, he's talked about it in press conferences. That is his favorite dunk to do. He loves to throw the windmill their way. And that one of the better ones I've seen from him. Arizona State will move quickly. They'll look to forget that one. I would if I were them. As a 3-ball comes, this one no good from Mason, and Skillings, easy rebound for him. And things are looking pretty favorable for Cincinnati right now. 11-point lead, just over 2 minutes left to go in the ball game.
You got 2 minutes to go, and anything can happen. Cincinnati a firm hold.
Jizzle James has it left side, now takes it to the middle, enters the paint, puts this one up, no good, rolls around the rim and out. Arizona State will work the other way. Freeman has it, dishes it down to Quaintance. Mitchell will defend. Quaintance driving inside, knocked away out the back by Bandango, but Quaintance able to get his own knock away. Now Mason has it outside. Thomas will defend. Mason driving inside, puts it up and gets fouled.
It's foul number 5 for Cincinnati. You only got 2 more to give here in the next minute and a half.
Definitely got to make sure to keep things clean if you're Cincinnati down towards the end here. Only a minute and a half to go. But now the lead back down to 9 for Arizona State. A chance to make it 8 with the free throw attempt by Alston Mason. Mason attempt is good, does make it a 3-point play. Lead now is 8, and Lukosius will check into the game for Cincinnati. Mitchell will check out.
Mitchell 14.6 of 10, 2 of 3. 3 personals on the day. Looked like he may have maybe slightly injured his leg, and that's not going to go well as Dan Skillings bounces it off his leg and out of bounds. Turns it back over.
Yeah, Skillings just got locked up immediately off of the inbound. Looks like it did go out of bounds. Looks like the officials will go to the table to see. We're gonna review this one, see if it did go off of Skillings' knees or if it was a knockaway by Arizona State. Very important call here. It is an 8-point game with a minute and a half to go, but college basketball, that really isn't that much.
You've got plenty of people who can foul in between now and then. And no matter how you feel about the foul up 3 late crowd, there's a chance that that's what's going to be happening here in the next couple of minutes if you're Wes Miller. Minute and a half to go. Cincinnati 2 fouls to give. Arizona State has given Cincinnati the bonus situation.
The ball will go in favor of Arizona State, so they will get a chance on offense. 63-55, Bearcats leading. Thomas will defend. Ball immediately goes to Freeman, but it's knocked away by Skillings. He was there very quick.
Dan Skillings not having any of it. He's all over the floor.
We'll try again on the inbound, just a little bit more down the sideline here. Miller quickly that time gets it into Quaintance. Quaintance was ready for it. Bandango almost able to knock it away. Contesting Quaintance all the way up and was able to foul him. That makes 6 for Cincinnati.
It's going to be his 3rd as well on the floor. Definitely a tough situation for Aziz. Good defense, just a little bit too aggressive on it.
Quaintance at the line, a chance to cut this one down even further for Arizona State. His first one is no good. Really huge for Cincinnati.
They're 9 for 10 coming up to the line before that shot. Arizona State is.
Quaintance' second one is good. Lead down to 7 for Cincinnati. Minute 28 to go. Bearcats need to get some points on this possession. Burn some clock. No need to force a shot. Lukosius looking to get it in. He'll take a timeout. Smart move, didn't see anything.
Cincinnati now 1 timeout left. Arizona State has 2. And it's going to come down to clock management for Cincinnati. You have the lead, 63-56. And coming off of the 40-point drop versus Kansas here, definitely a step in the right direction. And if Cincinnati can get this win against Arizona State, the confidence is going to go through the roof for Wes Miller and his guys moving forward.
Yeah, confidence is absolutely the right word. I mean, this is a pretty good Arizona State team. They're very evenly matched up with Cincinnati, and Cincinnati needs to get these wins against teams of equal and better calibers. And this is a great start to that, especially here at home inside Fifth Third Arena.
Arizona State also 0 for 3 on the road this season. Much more successful, 1 in neutral sites and 2 at home. They're 5-1 in neutral locations and 5-2 at home. Cincinnati 7-2 when it comes to defending Fifth Third Arena. We're going to add another one to that tally.
Cincinnati will again look for the inbound. It's Lukosius. He's able to find James very quickly this time. James now gets to Thomas and a lot of contact. And a travel is called on Cincinnati, and it will go the way of the Sun Devils.
That's an interesting call, because the defender threw his entire body into Day Thomas.
I mean, yeah, it was a ton of contact there before Thomas could even bring it across half court. And Freeman will inbound, he'll get it into Mason. Tight defense needed by Cincinnati. James is defending. Jihad has it, Mitchell defending on him. Jihad trying to find room, nearly loses the ball, is able to compose himself though and get it out. Mason now has it, 3 on the shot clock, 2, puts one up, no good. Bandango on the rebound. Cincinnati avoids the Arizona State score as Skillings now has it. He finds some room under the rim, behind the back, puts it up and in. Under a minute left to go in this ball game.
That's a wild transition play. Nobody actually really had possession of the ball. Was able to find 2.
Arizona State now heavily struggling. Quaintance has it under the rim, lofts one up off the glass. Gets fouled in the process.
That's foul number 4 on Aziz Bandango. He's going to have to come off the floor, possibly. There's only 42.8 seconds remaining. And it's just going to be how much does Wes Miller trust Aziz Bandango on the floor in the next 40 seconds.
Quaintance will go to the line for the Sun Devils. Some big shots here. Chance to make it a 3-point play. He does not. But Mitchell able to easily get the rebound, and jump ball is called.
Possession arrow points Arizona State, so a good call for the Sun Devils and Bob Hurley. Really a big heads-up play.
Yeah, and the timeout there being called afterwards, but almost missing the free throw there benefited them. It was only going to be 1 point, but now it could be even 2 or 3. And that's just huge in a tight game like this.
And this is when basketball can take its longest. You're under a minute. It'll last you about 5.
Yeah, it always comes down to it in the end, especially when you start going to the line, taking free throws. But it's where good teams win the games. And we'll see if Cincinnati can prove themselves as one of those good teams and take a Big 12 win.
They are 1 for 4 in the Big 12 this season. Their next contest is here at Fifth Third Arena. Texas Tech will come to town. That's at 7 o'clock on ESPNU, 700 WLW, and right here on Bearcat Sports Radio. But it's tough. Arizona State stays on the East Coast. They'll go to West Virginia on Tuesday. That's on CBSSN as well at 7 p.m. With the Big 12, I mean, it's not a conference to take lightly, especially when you look at basketball games like this one.
Yeah, not at all. I mean, it's one of the more dominant conferences in college basketball, and it's games like this that really prove it. It's almost like every team is equal, and every team has a chance to win every game. It's really a toss-up. Cincinnati, though, looking to prove themselves as they will come back out on the floor. 39.9 seconds is what it reads on the clock. Cincinnati up 65-58. This game coming down to the wire. Cincinnati will need to step up on defense. Arizona State inbounds to Freeman. Freeman outside the arc. He'll drive inside of the paint. Finds a wide open lane. Not even an inch of contention. And now Cincinnati will take a timeout. Wes Miller uses his one and final timeout.
He's going to try and draw up some kind of play. I mean, if you play your cards right, hold the next 2 possessions, you're good to go. But Arizona State, they're going to foul right out of the gate.
Yeah.
They're going to send Cincinnati to the line. They're going to try and foul, if I'm going to be honest, Dylan Mitchell. They're going to try and get him to the stripe because they know that he's one of the least successful when it comes to shooting from the free throw line this season. So it's a matter of who's Cincinnati going to get this ball into. Are they going to get it into Dylan Mitchell and risk it for that? Are they going to get into Van Skillings, Day-Day Thomas, who they know can shoot very well from the stripe? We're going to have to see how this is going to go. You got 36.8 seconds to go, 6.8 second differential between the shot and game clock. Cincinnati so far has been outscored by Arizona State in this half, 38-29.
I mean, like we talked about earlier, in Big 12 play, it always comes down to free throws. And if I'm Arizona State right now, I'm feeling pretty good about fouling a lackluster free throw shooting Cincinnati team. And like you said, as long as Arizona State can foul the right guy, things look pretty good for them. We'll see what Cincinnati drew up out of the Wes Miller timeout here. Mitchell is not on the floor. Lukosius, Bandango, Skillings, Thomas, and James are all out there for Cincinnati.
Bandango has 4 fouls. Got to watch for that.
Lukosius will be the one to inbound. He'll get it in immediately. Finds Thomas. Thomas in the corner, able to burn some clock. Now gets to James. James working up the floor. He finally gets fouled.
It's a late foul called on the floor. BJ Freeman went down again.
And he was holding his face.
Here's Dylan Mitchell. He's going to come in on defense.
James will head to the line. Some very important free throws. Bearcats up 5.
65% free throw shooter so far this year. 13 of 20.
First one is good from Jizzle James. Very big free throw. Second attempt coming. And it's in. Huge from the sophomore guard.
It's a big time makes it a 3-possession game here. Jizzle's gonna come off.
Cincinnati up 67-60. Arizona State just rolling the ball. Don't want to spend any clock. Lukosius up there trying to defend, makes him pick it up. Arizona State right wing. Thought about the three, decided not to. Now back up top, driving inside. Lukosius knocks it away. Bandaogo on the ball, and he gets fouled by Quaintance.
That's going to be his third.
Mason is down on the floor. Looks like he's in a little bit of pain, but
he's able to get up.
He will get up under his own power.
Seen a lot of players go down with injuries. Thankfully, none have been too severe.
Like we talked about earlier, Freeman was the worst one we had seen, and he is still in the game right now. So yeah, fortunately, nothing too severe from this ball game. Bandaogo, though, is at the line. Cincinnati up 67-60.
Got a 70% free throw shooter, Aziz Bandaogo. You're in a 3-possession game. These are coffin nails.
Bandaogo, no good, and didn't realize the ball was in play afterwards. Miller just held it for a second, then realized we got to play basketball. He lost up a crazy three, no good. It's blocked.
That might just do it. Shot got blocked. Double dribble called on Jihad. See what Arizona State does here.
11 seconds left to go. Cincinnati crowd has decided that this game is over, and so has Arizona State. Dede Thomas will dribble things out, and Cincinnati a much-needed Big 12 win. Solid defense, but more importantly, solid offense from a Bearcats team that has been struggling in that world as of recent. We do want to thank you for joining us on Bearcats Sports Media. For Colin Kunz and Ethan Herzog, goodbye.